What if I told you that in 2026, you can still buy a home near the ocean for under 300K in America, and it's not a scam, not a hurricane wreck shack, and not 2 hours from the beach? Sounds impossible, right? Well, brace yourself, because the towns I'm about to show you are very real, very livable, and surprisingly still affordable. And before we dive in, if you're someone who spends half the year at the beach, check the beach umbrella with sand anchor linked below. It stays put even when the wind decides to be rude. Now here's the twist. Everyone thinks affordable coastal living is dead. But the spots in this list have real sand, real neighborhoods, real hospitals nearby, and actual homes under 300K in 2026. One of them even dibs closer to 220K. Get ready. The first town on this list feels like a hidden coastal postcard, and most Americans don't even know it exists. If you want a beach town that still feels real, artsy streets, friendly neighbors, slow mornings, Ocean Springs might be the last truly affordable Gulf Coast gem. It sits right next to Biloxi, yet it feels like a different world, quieter, cleaner, and built more for living than tourism. Let's talk real homes, not fantasy listings. Most houses here land between 230K and 290K, with many built from the late 1990s to the mid-2010s, offering 3 bedrooms, porches, and tree-lined streets. Condos run 180K to 250K, usually 1,200 to 1,700 square feet, and many communities have HOA fees around $150 to $260, covering exterior upkeep, pools, or shared green spaces. Safety is where Ocean Springs surprises people. Its violent crime rate sits around 98 per 100,000 residents, dramatically below the national average and far safer than surrounding cities. Property crime is higher, that's the honest downside, especially near commercial areas. Neighborhoods like Gulf Hills, Fort Bayou Estates, and the historic downtown blocks tend to see the lowest rates. Cost of living stays 10 to 12% below the national average, and property taxes often fall under $1,400 a year. Home insurance usually ranges $1,800 to $2,600, still far cheaper than Florida or Texas coasts. Medical centers, grocery stores, and pharmacies sit minutes away, and the Gulfport Biloxi Airport is only 25 minutes from town. It's warm, breezy, and humid, with the usual Gulf reality of occasional hurricane threats. If you've ever dreamed of living near the ocean without burning through your savings, Pascagoula is one of the few places left where that dream still makes sense. It sits right on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and unlike most beach towns, it hasn't turned into a luxury market. Here, real coastal homes still fit a real retirement budget. Most single-family homes run between $160,000 and $240,000, and small waterfront condos often range from $150,000 to $200,000. You typically get 1,200 to 1,600 square feet, quiet streets, and shaded lots close to the shoreline. The beaches are calm and peaceful, no noisy boardwalks, just soft sand, gentle waves, and plenty of room to breathe. Cost of living is about 15% below the national average, and property taxes often stay under $1,300 per year. Insurance ranges roughly $1,700 to $2,400, dependent on elevation and how close you are to the water. Now let's talk safety, honestly. Pascagoula has a violent crime rate around 326 per 100,000 residents, which is lower than many Gulf Coast cities. The challenge is property crime, which is higher, especially in older industrial sections. The good news is there are clearly safer pockets: East Beach, riverfront neighborhoods, and College Park, where crime rates drop noticeably and community feel is stronger. Hospitals, grocery stores, and pharmacies are all minutes away, and the Gulfport Biloxi Airport sits about 40 minutes west. Weather is classic Gulf: warm, humid, and hurricane-prone, so flood awareness and insurance are part of the package. If your idea of retirement is quiet mornings, slow breezes off the bay, and a town that actually feels like a town, Port Lavaca might surprise you. It sits along Matagorda Bay, far from the noise of Houston and the crowds of Corpus Christi, and it still offers something rare in 2026: coastal homes that don't demand a lifetime of savings. Most homes here fall between $190,000 and $260,000, usually 1,300 to 1,800 square feet, many built in the late 1990s or early 2000s. Think simple single-story homes, tidy yards, and shaded streets. You don't see many condos, but small Bayview cottages under 300K still pop up, especially in older neighborhoods near the waterfront. HOA fees are low or non-existent in most areas, which retirees appreciate. Cost of living sits around 12% below the national average, and while Texas property taxes are higher, often $3,000 to $4,200 per year, insurance usually lands in the $1,800 to $2,600 range for homes outside flood zones. Now, the honest look at safety. Port Lavaca has a violent crime rate of about 297 per 100,000 residents, which is lower than the national average. Property crime is moderate, but the Lighthouse Beach area and northern subdivisions tend to be the quieter, safer pockets. Services are within minutes: groceries, pharmacies, small clinics, while major hospitals are about 30 minutes away in Victoria. Weather is warm and breezy most of the year, with the usual Texas Gulf reality, strong winds, and the occasional tropical threat. The only real downside: if you want nightlife, big entertainment, or wide Instagram beaches, this town may feel too quiet. Corpus Christi is where people go when they want real beaches, real hospitals, real shopping, and still want the price tag to behave. It's one of the few big coastal cities in America where a retiree can enjoy ocean breezes without signing away half their retirement fund. The surprising part is how much home you still get for under 300K. In 2026, condos near the water often list between $180,000 and $260,000, and many 1,100 to 1,400 square foot units come with pools, updated kitchens, and easy beach access. Single-family homes under 300K are still common as well, especially in neighborhoods built from the late 1980s through the early 2000s. HOA fees vary, but many condo communities stay in the $250 to $380 per month range and cover exterior maintenance, pools, and landscaping. Before we go deeper, if you're planning to live near the water, check the waterproof dry bag linked in the description. It saves your phone and wallet from salt water, rain, beach spray, or the day you forget the tide moves. Cost of living sits around 6% below national average, and Texas still has no state income tax. Property taxes usually range from $3,200 to $4,800 per year, depending on the neighborhood. Insurance is higher than inland towns, often $2,200 to $3,200 because of hurricane exposure. Crime varies. The citywide numbers look high, but here's the truth. The safer pockets for retirees include Southside, Callan, Island District, and Flower Bluff, all with noticeably lower crime than the downtown core areas. You'll find excellent hospitals, VA services, a major airport, shopping centers, and waterfront dining, all close together, a rarity for beach markets under 300K. The downside? Wind. Corpus Christi is one of the windiest cities in America, and hurricane prep is simply part of living here. If you ever thought South Florida was completely out of reach, Deerfield Beach is the rare exception. It's one of the only places left on the Gold Coast where retirees can enjoy warm Atlantic beaches, walkable neighborhoods, and real Florida living, all while keeping a budget under 300K. The biggest surprise here is the condos. In 2026, you can still find $180,000 to $260,000 units, usually 800 to 1,200 square feet, many in well-kept 55-plus communities built between the late 1970s and early 1990s. Most have pools, clubhouses, fitness centers, and low-stress living. HOA fees tend to fall between $280 and $450 a month, often covering water, landscaping, exterior insurance, and community amenities. Cost of living is slightly above average, but you save big on taxes. Florida has no state income tax, and property taxes in Deerfield Beach often land around $2,800 to $4,200 per year, depending on the condo community. Now the honest safety look. Deerfield Beach has a citywide violent crime rate around 349 per 100,000, about average for Florida's coastal cities. But the magic is in the neighborhoods. Century Village, Crystal Lake, The Cove, and East Deerfield all tend to have significantly safer, more stable environments with strong retiree communities. You're minutes from groceries, pharmacies, major hospitals, and Fort Lauderdale's International Airport. And weather? Classic South Florida. Warm, sunny, breezy, with hurricane season to respect every year. Good insurance and storm prep are a must. The only downside? Competition. Affordable condos here move fast, and bidding can be intense during snowbird season. Before you fall in love with a palm tree and sign a contract, here are the truths every beach area buyer learns the hard way. First, insurance. Coastal insurance is rising everywhere, and in 2026, it can add $2,500 to $6,000 a year, depending on the building's age and distance from the water. Never skip this step. Next, HOA rules. Some communities limit rentals, pets, or renovations, and a few older buildings are facing expensive maintenance upgrades. Always check the reserve fund. If it looks weak, that is a red flag. Then there's flood zones. A condo 1 block inland might cost half the insurance of a beachfront unit. And don't buy based only on city crime numbers. Beach zones often have much lower crime than inland neighborhoods. Finally, visit in person. Tide, traffic, noise, humidity, nothing replaces walking the area yourself. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You now know some of the last truly affordable beach towns left in the country. And remember, everything looks perfect in photos. Prices, insurance, and local vibes can change fast, so please double-check every detail before making any big decisions. A little research now can save you thousands later. If you want your next dream home search to be even easier, don't forget to check the Amazon product links in the description. They're tools I personally recommend to make moving, traveling, and beach living a whole lot smoother. And if you enjoyed this video, you will absolutely love the next one. Top 5 cheapest U.S. Gulf communities with under 300K homes in 2026. It's packed with quiet neighborhoods, great amenities, and real prices retirees can still afford. Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss the next hidden gem.